today. From AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. It's Week 13 of the NFL on EA Sports.
22 men ready to do battle. It's time to dance. And off we go on EA Sports. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
McCaffrey will take it in for the Giants' touchdown. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 10 carries, 78 yards, and a touchdown.
And he's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try and find some people up and downfield.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Cantrell. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly, and forcing incompletions.
To throw on third down, Cantrell. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
Second down and right back to McCaffrey. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 40 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. He'll get 3 up to midfield. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
A handoff, McCaffrey running right. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. That ball nearly intercepted. The rookie had his hands on it but couldn't pull it in. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on third down. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he will have a Giants first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. Trey Hendrickson in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Boy, Charles, that time he took a bad situation and made it worse.
Yeah, you're almost putting together a nice little song there, aren't you? Because it's something you'll see from young quarterbacks. They have that tendency to retreat backwards instead of stepping up in the pocket. My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. So the Giants now are going to turn it over to their field goal unit. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. The kick by Bass is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that one on target, and it adds to this first-half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about one-score lead, two-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Looking to throw on second down. Cantrell spins by and past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
I think the best offenses love to give the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Again, he'll drop to throw. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But third down coming up. Back to throw again. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
85 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. They'll run with McCaffrey. And some room to work. And he'll go out of bounds finally at the 7. A big play there from McCaffrey. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? He'll look to throw. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. Trey Hendrickson able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The kick by Bass is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
2nd and 3. Well, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he will take it all in for a giant touchdown. Rondale Moore, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Over the middle, complete. That's Myers. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. On first down, they run with Howard. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Looking to throw. Cantrell. Open man is Myers. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 40. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Cantrell. That's caught by Myers. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Now, Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him now over 3,000 yards passing on the campaign.
And, Brandon, I think we have to start to think about where we are in the season, because right now, 4,000 is not out of the question. I think a big game or two, he's certainly capable of getting that done.
Well, the good news, at least they won't take that goose egg into the locker room. Maybe a little something to build on.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of first halves for them, has it? But at least now, as you mentioned, they put some points on the board. And it's been funny in our experience watching games. Sometimes something as little as a field goal could change the fortunes of...
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this 3rd quarter. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game. And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
That catch good for only a couple. 8 yards to go on second down. From the gun, Cantrell. Open man is the tight end, Troutman. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
They'll look to throw again. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. They'll look to throw here on first down. That's complete to Troutman, right side. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. This is Howard on second down. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Operating from the gun, Cantrell. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way to the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking...
Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Christian McCaffrey with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Giants have got it on cruise control. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Dallas offense set for this next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. To throw on second down, Cantrell. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
The passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
On third down, Cantrell. And this is going to be incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
It'll be a 39-yard punt. Give him a good 10 yards on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. 2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big 3rd quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
He's going to look deep for more. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
Now here's a throw that's complete. Touchdown, Giants. Rondale Moore. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Giants get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
On 1st down, Cantrell. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Cantrell looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Adoree Jackson right there, step for step in coverage. The Cowboys on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Cantrell. Open man is Jacoby Myers. He's got it. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Jamel Dean. And the Giants are going to get it back here just past the 35. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
He's going to let this one go deep. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charlie, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB.
Oh, look at the catch there by Moore.
Touchdown, Giants!
Rondale Moore
with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year.
And the Giants add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
An extra point by Bass, up and good. And that will extend this big lead.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
Good call there on first down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years. They're not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Back to throw. Cantrell. And that is incomplete.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
A 40-yard punt, no return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
New York's offense back out there and set to go. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll try and burn some clock now with McCaffrey. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Back to throw. And he's got this one complete to Callaway.
And he will have a Giants 1st down. He needed 5. He got it barely as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, try to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game. That's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a 1st down.
And they'll indeed take a knee. 2 running plays go backwards. So what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to